Well, in Canada, the land of Justin Trudeau, an absolute idiot who says he's anti-racist, whilst 20 years ago he was totally into blackfacing, getting out the boot polish, painting his entire skin black, wrapping a rag around his head and pretending to be an Arab, or painting his skin black, putting on a wig and pretending to be Bob Marley. A man who prayed in solidarity to apparent mass graves found at Catholic schools on reservations, believing that they were full of dead Native American children, when in reality they were latrines built for the school, as schools in those days didn't have toilets. The same man who endlessly panders to the woke and to regime messaging, the same man who instigated Orwellian type control during the COVID lockdown, in which Canadians were locked up for failing to abide by the totalitarian rules of the plandemic. A man who would sell his own organ to the woke establishment. Well, now Trudeau and his parliament have finally done the biggest of all fuck-ups. They applauded a Nazi. And when I say Nazi, I don't mean a right-winger. I mean an actual Nazi. This man, who they applauded, don't know his name, served in the Ukrainian Waffen-SS. You know, the same people who you compare the English Defence League, Patriotic Alternative, and Britain First with. The same people who say make up the right wing. That's who you say the SS are. Well, now you salute an actual SS man. I won't be surprised if that man stood up in your parliament wearing his full SS gear. You probably still salute him. Probably still applaud him. Probably still say he's a hero. This man was part of a movement that was responsible for the deaths of 6 million Jews in camps like Auschwitz, Treblinka, and Bergen-Belsen. This man was a cog in the machine of a totalitarian regime that you all obsess about, that you all compare the right wing to. The left call us Nazis. They've called us Nazis ever since the 80s. During the Donald Trump election, they called Trump supporters Nazis. They compared Trump to Hitler for wanting a stronger border to keep out illegal immigrants, for wanting to ban terrorists, for wanting to make America great again. You compared him to Hitler. You compared Trump supporters to Hitler and the Nazis. You're all Hitler obsessed. You're all obsessed with the alt-right. You compared Tommy Robinson to Hitler. You compared Paul Golding to Hitler. You compared Mark Collette to Hitler. Well, they're not. Because now you've actually saluted, applauded and respected an actual Nazi and a man who loved Hitler. This man was in a regiment of the Waffen-SS that was mostly made up of Ukrainians who, at the end of the war in Ukraine, during World War II, switched their name to the Ukrainian Nationalist Army or the Ukrainian whatever army to disassociate themselves with the Nazis. But that doesn't clear away their history of being Nazis. I mean, even now in Ukraine, there's the Azov Battalion, who are Nazis, nationalists, full on Nazis who wants to kill Jews, and yet you salute and support them. You say that they're not Nazis. You say the Russian government are Nazis. When Putin said that Ukraine was full of neo-Nazis, he wasn't wrong. And I do not support Putin. I believe his regime is as worse as the woke regime we have in the West. But you have to admit, the man is right about some things. When Putin gave a speech about the left and how children are told to choose their own gender, I agree with him. And I don't usually agree with Putin because, as I said, I am not a Russian stooge. I'm not doing this to say I support Russia, because I don't. Because Russia is just the same as the woke. The regime in Russia is no different to the regime here. But you, leftists, who have called everyone on the right wing in every European country a Nazi, you have finally done it and saluted and respected an actual Nazi. And I wouldn't be surprised if you gave him a medal for bravery, as the Nazis weren't right wing. The only reason you associate the right wing with the Nazis is because they had national in their name. And indeed, they were the National Socialist German Workers' Party. That doesn't sound very right-wing, does it? Indeed, Hitler did not like German traditions. He did not like the Kaiser or the German monarchy. He did not like Christianity. He liked pagan festivals and pagan traditions that were long gone in Germany. The German traditions of Hitler's time was very much Christianity, the Kaiser, Prussian values, and Prussian traditions and heritage. What Hitler wanted was an Aryan dream. So Hitler wasn't right-wing, wasn't, a conservative. He was a socialist, just like you. But you demonize us for being Nazis. You demonize us for being full of hate. Really, if we're full of hate, then why is it you who form violent groups like Antifa who literally attack people with riot shields saying no hate? Why is it you who want to imprison people for having different opinions? Why is it you who throw temper tantrums at college speaking events because people have different opinions? Why is it you who are so hateful of different ideas and opinions? And why is it you who can't understand that different people have different opinions? You are the real Nazis.